Patrick Royce, the Minnesota Twins. I do not want to hear about how banged up this team is after they were swept in 2 games at Yankee Stadium yesterday by a Yankees team I barely recognized.
I was going to say the same thing. How many times in my 60, how many years of the Twins? 62 years of watching the Twins. This is maybe the most unrecognizable Yankee team I've ever. Who are these guys? They have some guy playing center field, number 90, who when the ball's hit, he doesn't chase it. Who,
I know.
I mean, who the hell are these guys? Aaron Hicks hadn't played it in a month because he's been so horrible. He knocks in 3 runs. Yeah, but that first game was a disaster. I mean, did anybody quote Rocco on Tommy Watkins waving the runner home? Probably not. Huh? That was one of the worst blunders I have ever seen from. There was the idea when I saw it. I said, "Well, he had to run through a stop sign."
Yes,
right. He had to run through a stop sign. The ball has hit the shallow right field, and the right fielder's playing shallow. Yeah. The right fielder is on the ball 2 seconds after it lands. What in God's name could have possibly gotten into his head that he send him? I mean, he's done. He won't be around next year, but Tommy will not be. I mean, he's been terrible all year, but this one blew them all away because it cost you a ball game that you really need, a chance to win one in the Yankee Stadium. And it basically cost him the game. And the other guy who cost him the game, they're going to pull it out in the 12th. And Correa comes up against a struggling pitcher and once again flops and does nothing with runners in scoring position. I'm ready to declare him a bust for the kind of money they're paying him and what we expected when he came here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He's been awful in pressure situations.
Well, weren't we talking about it? We were talking about it 2 days ago. You came up 143, right? 143.
Yes. 2 outs, man scoring.
2 out. Yeah. And this was 1 out. All you got to do is hit a fly ball. You get a 2-run lead. I mean, God Almighty, this is. After they lose tonight, they come home 500, and with 26 to go. But I made that. We made this comparison between ourselves yesterday, and then I was thinking about it again this morning. This is 84, the September collapse of 84, when they were an unlikely first place team for much of the summer, but that team had a World Series nucleus. Right. This team will be the worst team in the American League Central next year. This team is going downhill. They're going downhill. They don't have, you don't know if Kirillov's going to play again. I mean, you can't say they went all in, but they went damn near all in to try to win this year. And now they're 500 with 26 games to go. And they can't win one of the worst divisions in the history of baseball. Cleveland, 14th, 15th best record, and now they're 2 ahead against the White Sox and the Twins. That yesterday was fantastic. 4 hours and 3 minutes to puke away that opener, and then you got to come back out there. They had 0 chance. Game, 0 chance. Should have driven to St. Croix Meadows when that ball. When I think I could have gotten there just in time to bet. If you take your house mortgage with you and show that it's paid off, can you bet the whole thing can you bet like $300,000 on?
I don't know, but I like Garrett Cole's chances in that game.
Yes, I did. Yeah, it had to be that. I suppose he had to be like a 280. He had to be a 280 favorite at least. Joe Ryan is, they get him out of there after 4. But the other thing is the bullpen has got to be gassed, don't they? I mean, the
absolutely
arms you want, the arms you want,
yes,
have got to be gassed.
Yeah,
and, you're just, you got 2 out of Duran. You got 2 out of Duran, and then you still don't win the game. And disaster. disaster. That said, Louie Varland, very impressive.
Yes, that was fun to watch. That was.
The thing about him is, which is the secret of pitching, he hits good spots with good stuff. He's throwing hard. He's throwing like 93, 94, but he's hitting that little bit of the corner, and he's hitting, he's down there around the knees, but he's doing it hard. He can go up once in a while and try to get you out up here too. But he looked good. He looked confident as could be. And I saw in our paper that Kim Varland, who I talked to last year, is kind of a bit of a character, was weeping her eyes out. She could barely speak. So, that had to be fun for that delegation. That looked like a fun delegation too. And then kind of a blue collar.
Oh yeah.
Blue collar boys who are going to go get some cocktails.
Those are Declan's folks in St. Paul, Pat.
Yes, they are.
I don't think they stayed for game 2.
No.
I think Gus.
Why would you? You knew what was going to happen. I'd head to the bar. Yeah.
I think Gus and the boys might have. They did. I was glad to see that the Dodgers, it is, I guess, in Tulsa. I thought it was the Rangers, that they let him. That they let him leave and come and watch his kid brothers. His kid brothers. They're only a year apart, but the kid brothers pitch. So that was great. Yeah, that could have been such a fun win, couldn't have been?
Hell yeah, it was a great story.
Varland, you're breezing along. What is amazing is they managed to go 403, and he was on the mound for about 20 minutes total.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the other thing we all loved about him is how, we've talked about it yesterday, that the ball was heading back to the plate 9 seconds after he got to it. He didn't shake him off, and he just threw it where they wanted him to throw it. It was very un-Twins-like, to say the least.
Pat, my question is, and this is what I was when I was watching the game unfold in game 1 when they pulled Louie and the heart of the order's coming up. If you're gonna pull the starter who is cruising, and look, that's clearly gonna be their MO. If third time through the order, they're gonna pull him. The best player in baseball is coming up. I get that. If you're gonna do that, why don't you just, instead of going to Griffin Jacks, why don't you just go to Duran right then and there? That could be deciding the game. Right. If you're going to pull him, why don't you put the highest leverage guy in, not your third to fourth guy in Griffin Jacks?
Yeah, now Jacks have been pretty good, but I go out, talk to him and say, don't let him hit another home run. Pitch it up, throw it up here, and let him finish the 6th inning. What the hell? What's the hurry to get him out of the game? He's a strong kid. He doesn't have an ungodly number of innings behind him. He's a confident kid. He's throwing good stuff. Let him, get out there and say, "You're my man. Get me through 6. Let's go." And don't throw Judge a fastball down the middle. Throw him one, up here where he has to chase it a little bit. If he would have went right after Judge, he wasn't going to be terrified of him. So, yeah, I just say get 6 out of the kid. But when they sent him out, they were just anxious as hell to get him out of the game. They just, oh man, okay, we're going to.
Rocco was itching. Rocco was itching to get him out.
They were all flinchy. They were saying, "Oh God, we got to get him out of the game. He's pitching too good. We got to get him out of the game." God, yeah. I don't know. They are. This is going to be when this. Let's say they win 2 more than they lose the rest of the way, right? And they're 84 and 78 or whatever it is, and end up 3 games out. This is going to be probably the most disgusting winning season when you didn't expect it. It's just you can't enjoy them.
Correct.
You can't enjoy the shortstop. If you're paying him $36 million, you're excited to have him. He's a great shortstop. He made a great play yesterday. But you can't. You got to win the game for me there, dummy. You're paying $36 million. The bases are loaded. The other guy's struggling. You got to win the game right there for me. For this money, I don't give a damn if you're hitting 143 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. You have to win the game right then for me, and you do nothing. And, my villains for that game would be number 1.
Your Valley Sports villains of the
villains
game.
of the game. Number 1, Tommy Watkins.
Yeah,
Number two, Correa. Number 3, Rocco. For Pete Mackey and Rocco and the rest of the morons who decided at 9 a.m. when they got to the Bronx that, okay, but the first, boy, if he sees that third time of the order, let's get him the hell out of there, no matter how good he looks, I don't know. The hell with them. Their football starts this weekend. Who cares?
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
Who cares? I don't care about the Vikings either, but I care more about them than watch. I didn't watch it. I turned off I said this on Twitter, and I did it. I turned off my cell phone and watched some bad movie, Red Notice, which, by the way, is awful.
Oh, yeah. Is that the one with
Ryan Reynolds and Rock? And oh God,
is it terrible?
I was reading more than I was
sure,
but I didn't. I boycotted the game, and I didn't look to see what the score was until I went to bed. And then now, had I known that former Twin great IF whatever was going to hit a grand slam, I would have watched. And then Hicks, who I heard, I was listening to Michael Kay the other day, do the game, and he was disemboweling Hicks about how god awful he's been. He's been pathetic. They can't play him. They need a center fielder, but they got him. They got him for big money for 3 more years. He's brutal. They can't, as you say, they got all these anonymous guys.
Yeah.
And he still can't be in the lineup. The only reason they played him was they went 4-0-3 the first game. So they put him in there, and then he hits a bases clearing double. So,
Pat, I believe the number from Chris Atterbury last night, in 111 games that Correa has had, he has just 4 RBIs with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. 111 games, 4 runs batted in with 2 outs and runners in scoring position.
And as I said, that was 1 out, right? You wanted 1 out. Didn't you want a fly ball there? That was the second out. He made the second out. Yeah, he's somebody's going to I got news for him. He ain't getting 200.
No, hell no. That's the thing.
Not with Bogarts. Bogarts just had 10 straight games with 2 hits or something like that. Much better hitter.
And Turner, right?
Huh? And Turner's
going to market.
I think Correa will get more than Turner, but not much. And then Swanson too, right? The guy down in Atlanta, I think.
Yeah, Dansby Swanson, who's
I'd like
nice
to
player.
Have. If you're scouting him this year, you can't. You got to say no, thank you.
So Patrick,
what if he says he's coming back?
Well, he might. He might now. Who knows? Who knows?
Screws up all their plans for budget, but who cares? They're come on back and join this team that's going to be battling the Tigers in an arm wrestling match for 4th next year. 28 games behind who's ever in first place.
So Royce, here's the best part though. So game 1, I couldn't take it anymore. So game 2, I went on my deck, turned on Corey and Danny, and Thad Levine was making the rounds. He did TV, I guess. I didn't hear that, but he did radio, and that was his first mistake. Joe Ryan, the inning he got completely punked. Thad was in the booth, and Danny, God bless him, it was the most passive-aggressive, fantastic thing I've heard. Danny basically unloaded on Thad and their decisions with questions, though. And really? to hear the word soup or word salad that Thad tried to talk around with, Danny said, "Can't you teach guys to go more than a third or to go through a third time through pitchers? Can't you at least teach that?" It was just great, Levine, and he had to sit there and take it because Joe Ryan's getting hammered.
Well, I also heard that unlike Perky and Dick, who were hemming and hawing, Provis lit him up for Tommy Watkins sending the runner too.
Yes.
The game. He
God bless him.
He couldn't figure out what the hell he was doing, and well, I like that, and he's a funny guy when you're talking to him off topic. But when he starts trying to explain something, nothing will ever equal him trying to explain why they didn't call up Buxton, right, that year, that they didn't call. Remember that?
Oh, God,
they didn't call him up. And he went into every Haverford crapola lingo that he ever learned the corporate world.
Yes.
It was, yeah. And when he starts worrying, he's worse than Derek when he starts throwing you know, the miscorrections around and makes him look like a complete fool. So, yeah, I don't know, but don't make the rounds after you puked away that first game. Cancel, right? Cancel those appearances that you're making. I mean, you go do the BSN one. Who cares though? I feel sorry for those guys. Yeah, because you know what Bremer and Perk wanted to say, but they didn't say it. That Tommy, what are you doing, Tommy?
Yeah.
That's when you
Yeah.
need me. That's when
Uh-huh.
you need me in the booth. Except they'd have to get the bleeps ready.
Bleep button. Yeah.
Because that was one of those when the bride asked me what's wrong down there, because there was some foul language used to describe Tommy's third base coaching. I've been trying to, he's had some terrible blunders, sending the wrong slow runners and stuff.
God, yeah.
But
Yes.
yesterday, that is a play that you don't even consider the possibility of him sending a runner. And that's why Celestino jogged into third base. And, he knows that he's stopping at third. The right fielder's like 40 feet out in the outfield. It's unbelievable. The right fielder was where sometimes they play the second baseman when he
Yes.
got the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Before the ball was hit, you had to know I can't send him.
Oh, yeah.
Forget the bang decision. You know that before the ball goes out to right field, you're not going to send him.
Yeah, I was, if he was coaching, if Steinbrenner owned the Yankees and he was coaching third base, he wouldn't have been out there for the next inning.
Correct. Tony Diaz would have gotten his old job back as the third base coach. Bring back Tony.
You think they might do that? I wonder if they might do that.
I would consider it. I mean,
when they get home, because he can't do it. He can't do the job.
No.
Tommy can't do the job. God love him. He's a great guy. I know him from way back. I remember he had his only home run in the exhibition game, like back when they used to play extra innings, like in the 11th inning, and his mom was there and went fruitcake down in this. It was about a 50
really?
left in the stands, and he had a home run, and this fairly, this young woman, maybe 40, down there just going insane. So I said,
funny.
Hell, and so I assumed that was Mom, and I went down and talked to her, did a call on her. She's great. And Tommy, the king of Fort Myers, but God Almighty, what you could tell how sheepish he felt too. Like, what am I? He had that look on his face, like, what did I do? What was that? But it's Major League Baseball. You can't feel sorry for anybody when they make a blunder like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that spot, that third base coach, I don't know that there is an overall appreciation in the game today for the importance of that job.
Yes,
that is a tough bleeping job.
Yes.
You need to be good. That's not
Kelly,
first base coach.
I tell you, Kelly's you can't just think in generalities when you're there. You got to think, okay, what happens if the ball's hit here? Who's playing left field? How far do I want him to run to his left before I send the guy? You know what I'm saying? You got all those, and that was Kelly. When he coached third base, all those scenarios went through his mind, and he always was scoring a runner you thought he should score and stopping a guy. He never got a guy thrown up by 20 feet. Then poor Scotty Alger. They remember that year he got fired because Gardy took him off third because he got a bunch of runners thrown out. And as I said, then they put Steve Little at third, and he wouldn't send a guy if he hit a home run.
Well, he couldn't decide. He was holding him and then waving him. He used both hands.
Good guy, good baseball behind the scenes, good baseball man, but he was ill-equipped to coach third because his first instinct was just, you're right. His first instinct was always to stop them, but sometimes he waved them, but he did it at the same time, which really made it complicated for the runners. But
Pat,
we could hear Steve Little yesterday doing both, because then Celestino would have made his own decision and stopped third.
Would have been a lot easier. Pat, NFL starting tonight. Rams, Bills. Will you be tuning in?
I probably will. Yeah, I'm interested. Where's the game in? Buffalo or
L.A. No,
LA?
L.A. The
Yeah.
Rams are the rare. I don't know how many times this has happened, Pat, but the Rams, the defending Super Bowl champions, are technically an underdog. They are an underdog in their home stadium, coming off a Super Bowl win. I don't think it's happened too often.
People, the Buffalo fans might be too optimistic. They're crazy. They think that but they're out there betting in Vegas whether they're going to be unbeaten or not and stuff like that. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, there's Josh Allen proves, I guess, that there's hope for Trey Lance, because when Josh Allen played as a rookie, I said this: the cheerleaders were in trouble of getting hit in the head with the ball when he threw a sideline pass. He was terrible. He was ungodly inaccurate, and he's still not the most accurate thrower, but he's so dynamic and strong, and he's got the Mahomes in him that he'll make plays. After he misses a play, he'll make some ungodly play because his arm is probably even stronger than Mahomes. So yeah, that's a game that will attract my interest, and I'll be rooting mightily for the Bills to beat the smug Rams. So extremely smug Sean McVay, who brought us the extremely smug Kevin O'Connell. So I'll be rooting for him. I'll be rooting for the Bills. Yeah. So
you talk about a guy, Royce, that is going to talk around a question. Kevin O'Connell. Kevin O'Connell would get along famously with Thad and Derek, and Rocco to a certain point. They would all be best buddies.
I can't. I don't know. Does Rocco talk between games? I don't think he does.
I don't think he does. No,
they used to back in the old days.
Yeah, I think the pitcher. I think the guy that started does, but I don't think Rocco does.
Because that would have been. I mean, you would have had to be pounding on the door and saying, "Rocco, what'd you think of Tommy Watkins waving the guy home? You got to ask that guy, Rocco."
He loves Tommy. He said before, I think Tommy's great. Tommy does a great job. Tommy's fantastic.
I don't think you would have gotten that yesterday.
I wonder what you would have got.
I don't think you would have gotten that. We'll never know. We'll never know, I guess. So.
All right.
I'll watch that game. I'll watch that game for sure.
All right.
We will talk to you tomorrow. I think Mackey will be back, Patrick.
All right. Good. See you, gents.
Talk to you. Bye.